We're back with Bad Dog Podcast. Stay tuned. You are now listening to Bad Dog Podcast. What's up, you guys? It's your favorite time of the day. That's right, Bad Dog Podcast. So, I had a question for you guys. Are you patient? How do you be patient? What is being patient? Like, you always hear people, tell you just be patient. Like how do you be patient? Like, tell me. Like, how do you be patient? So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna go and we're gonna see what the definition says about being patient, or what patience is, and we're gonna dissect it. We're gonna see what's going on. So it says able to accept or tolerate delays, problems, or sufferings without becoming annoyed or anxious. That's a lot. That's a lot, man. That sounds like every one of my problems just mixed into one word is being patient. And so the first thing it said was tolerate delays. And for people, a lot of the times we are anxious. We live in a time right now to where technology is literally at our fingertips. So anything we want to know, anything we want to do, we can literally jump up and just go do it. You see what I'm saying? The problem is when life doesn't allow us to move at the rhythm that we're used to moving to. That becomes a problem. It's like going to Starbucks. You go to Starbucks and you see people in line waiting to order their coffee, and they're like, man, they're ready to go. Like, they already got the coffee and the extra ingredients and, the suggestions and, all the little stuff they want you to do to the milk and to the, the whipped cream. Like, they already know what they want, man. They're just ready to just blurt it out. And, whenever, there's a delay or, there's a long line, you see people, they kind of like, come on. But, they already know, the process. Like, that, you have to wait. Like, that, other people are going to order before you. And so what I've learned is part of tolerating delays comes from understanding. You see what I'm saying? Once you understand the full dynamic of a situation, it helps you to be more calm and more patient. You see what I'm saying? It's like being in traffic. If you're on your way to go somewhere that you're used to going, like getting to, like this, like, man, I got to get to work. When you're on that wave, and let's say like there's a traffic jam, right? If you hear prior to getting in your car, going to work, if you hear, that, okay, the freeway that you take to go to work, it was an accident. So traffic is a little backed up. So you can expect to be in traffic for about 20 minutes longer than what you're used to, right? So already knowing this, it puts you in a mind frame of, okay, so I'm not going to get to work, as soon as I would like to. That's okay. I know what the reason is. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the times what helps us to be, a lot calmer in waiting is we know what the reason is, especially for me. Like, one thing I could tell you guys about being in prison is that it teaches you patience. Like, you have to be patient. Hurry up and wait. That's the motto. And when you're really in a place to where you have no choice but to wait, like, you start to understand what patience is, and you start to grow accustomed to understanding that waiting is the process. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can't skip the process in whatever you're doing in life, whether it's a career, whether if it's, you are in a situation to where you have to wait, whether you're, waiting for a, opportunity to fall through, you have to wait. Like that's part of the game. And so what I've learned is being patient. It comes from understanding, where this waiting comes from, where it stems from, and also keeping yourself preoccupied. That's where the other, part of being patient comes from. It's not putting all of your focus and energy into something that you already know is going to take a little bit longer than you expect to happen. It's the same thing, like I gave you guys the analogy about being in traffic. Most people, they get road rage. Well, what's road rage? Road rage is when people are anxious and ready to go, but they can't go anywhere. So, they're trying to switch lanes, they're trying to do everything that they can to avoid, what's already happening. Like, you're in traffic, but like this is what happens when you're in traffic. Like, there's no like secret passageway to get out of traffic. Like, no, like, you can try to ride the carpool lane, but you're only gonna get so far before the traffic catches up with you again. So, like I said, part of that is already understanding, that there's a process, and why there's a process, and why you're even waiting in the first place. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times people are in traffic, and like I said, they don't know what the problem is. So a lot of time that's what's growing, that anxiety. It's like, man, why is so much traffic, man? It's a freaking Tuesday, man. Like, I don't understand this, man. Like, but if they would have listened to the news, or they would have listened to the radio, they would have understood, oh, it was an accident. Okay, so this is gonna put a damper on what I'm used to. So let me just cool down, save my little energy, and let me just go with the flow. That's it. That's all it is. So we have to learn, if we aren't patient already, we need to learn how to be more patient and more tolerant of delays, because delays happen. Like, stuff just can't go 24/7. Like, there's gonna be delays. There's gonna be times in which we want to do stuff, but we can't do stuff at the specific time that we want to do it. So we have to, revert our mind to other things so that we're not so anxious and fixated on the one thing that we want to do, but we can't do because there's a delay. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I learned, about patience. Patience is, it's key. Like, it's key to like life. You're not so, you're just not so angry, so frustrated, when you understand how things work and there's a process. You see what I'm saying? The other thing in the definition was, problems are suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious. There go that word anxious again. But now we got the word annoyed. And a lot of times we become patient because we understand that we know that if there's a problem, then there's a purpose. You see what I'm saying? The two P's, problem, then there's a purpose. You see what I'm saying? So already knowing that if there's something, stopping us from doing something, or if there's something in the way, there needs to be a cause of this. Everything is cause and effect. Nothing just happens to you because it's you. You may feel that way, but it doesn't happen like that. So we have to understand that, and we have to know that whenever there's a problem, this is time for us to calm down, reassess the situation, and then deal with it, in a calmly manner. Like I said, a lot of times we're so used to going places, getting stuff did, that when life presents us with a problem that stops us from doing the things that we're already accustomed to doing, we get anxious. So what we need to do is refocus our mind from that and try to do something else, so that it takes our focus off of it, so that by the time we do put our focus back on it, hey, it's there. That's what I was trying to do the whole time. You see what I'm saying? And it's a lot like staring at the clock. Like, a lot of people don't realize this, but the more you stare at the clock, the slower it moves. And that's psychological, because that's, you're just focused on the time. You're just focused on the time so much that it moves, like, it moves slower and slower. So you have to get to a point to where you're not focused on the clock, that you're doing stuff that's preoccupying your time, so that, by the time you look up, the time is over. This is a lot how guys, do their time in prison. Like, guys who, do massive time, they fulfill that time with stuff that's gonna take their focus off of the fact that they're doing time. You see what I'm saying? So they grow more patient over time, just by going with the process and giving themselves stuff to do. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the biggest things about patience, is, giving yourself other outlets to do, and understand that there's a reason why this happened. It's a purpose. Everything has a purpose, and you can feed into the purpose, or you can try to avoid it and try to draw away from it, but that's not gonna stop it. It's gonna still be there. And I heard, I forgot who said it, but I was listening to someone, and they were saying how a lot of us, like two people can walk into a room, and one person can see a problem, the other person can see a purpose. You see what I'm saying? And the person who sees the problem is gonna get more annoyed every second that they look at, the situation as a problem. But the person who walks in a room and sees it as a purpose, they're gonna look at it, and they're gonna, it's gonna bring them, more calm. It's gonna bring them more peace, because they understand, like, okay, so in order for this to happen, this needs to happen. So this needs to happen. It's like business. It's a lot like business, or, if you're trying to orchestrate something or anything. You see what I'm saying? In our minds, we want things to go like this, but we don't necessarily look at the in-betweens. You see what I'm saying? The process in between, before we can get to that goal. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times you have to really map out the problem and see in between, okay, what needs to be done in order for this problem to go away, or for me to resolve this problem. And you have to do that with a calm, mind. You can't do it in a very frustrated, anxious mind, because you're not going to be able to find the answer like that. It's impossible. No one has ever, solve problems in that, frantic, state of mind. It doesn't work. Ideas and problems are solved with a calm, steady mind. You see what I'm saying? It's how things work. And so once you build this habit of doing that, man, you can do anything. You can do anything. It's like I said, a lot of times, like in business, for an example, like, people will think of starting a business, and then they'll just think from, the beginning they started their business to, I got millions. Beginning, I got millions. And this may be because they see stuff, on Instagram, or, they read some stuff, YouTube. You see what I'm saying? That would give them that anxious state of mind of, you can start today and get rich tomorrow. But it doesn't happen like that. Almost never. It doesn't happen like that. Like, there's a process in between that you have to go through, which a lot of the times, if you don't think about that middle that middle process, then a lot of people end up giving up. They give up. They say, man, this is too hard. I was expecting to go from A to Z, man. And you guys are telling me I got to, do B, C, D and all the way. Oh, man, I don't want to do this. You see what I'm saying? So that's where your patient mindset, it comes into place so that you can go through every letter of the alphabet. And then already knowing that this is the process, you know that there's no corners to cut. You see what I'm saying? You already put in your mind, okay, this is what I want to do. So how is it going to get done? B, C, D, E. And then once you go through the whole alphabet and then you get there, then that's the reward. You see what I'm saying? And that's what patience gets you. Being tolerant of delays, and the problems are the suffering. A lot of the time, the suffering isn't major suffering. The suffering is just having an idea or having a place that you want to go that you can't necessarily get to at that moment. You see what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, you don't want to get to it at that moment because, again, that's what's going to make you anxious. You see what I'm saying? This is what makes people anxious. Like if you notice, like people who get large quantities of money, like very, very fast, they blow it very, very fast. And then when they go broke, they become anxious to get more money because they didn't do nothing in between. There was no waiting period. There was no period in between to where they had to sit down, they had to steady their mind and grow it, steadily. No. They just got it, and then as soon as they got it, they already had on their mind what they wanted to spend it on, and then they spend it, and then now they're broke, and then now, they're trying to find, different ways to accumulate more money fast. There's no patience. So we have to be patient. Stop wanting to do everything fast. There's no reason to be in a rush. There's no reason. You want to know why you go to like some like upscale neighborhoods? Cause I be going around. I try to go everywhere just to, just see what people are doing, stuff like that. But if you go to like really upscale neighborhoods, those people are going for, jogs. They're riding their bikes. Some of them are just going for walks. You see what I'm saying? And there's no rush. Like they're not anxious. You see what I'm saying? Versus you go to some other places like inner cities and smaller cities, everyone's like, excuse me, you gotta go. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me, you gotta go. Oh, excuse me, you see what I'm saying? Because they're anxious. There's so much stuff that they have to do on their mind, and literally they can't walk fast enough. It's the same thing with people in fast cars. If you're in a fast car, the last thing you want to do is go slow. That's the last thing you want to do. Red lights, you rather blow right past them. You see what I'm saying? Because again, like you being in this car, it gives you the expectation of, oh man, I can get from here to here like that. And that's cool. But again, what if there's an accident? You see what I'm saying? Now you're in this fast car and you can't go nowhere. That's going to drive you insane. Shoot, for some people, in some cases, the people in fast cars are the people that caused the accidents in the first place. So now the other people who are waiting in traffic, who can't go to work, who can't go see their kids, who can't go get something to eat, now they have to feel the repercussions of it because, again, somebody wanted to drive fast and just switch lanes without looking, and then bam, they crashed into somebody. Now we have to sit here and wait, for them to clean it up, and it's just time consuming. But like I told you, if you already know this and you heard it on the radio or you seen it transpire, you already know. It's like, yep, I'm gonna be here a minute. No, I'm not worried about it. But like like I was saying, if you go to like some of them upscale neighborhoods, like those people, like they're just walking their dogs, they're just, riding their bikes, all of that stuff. The reason why they do that is because their day, their month, their year, it's already mapped out. It's already mapped out. I know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I know what's gonna happen, 3 weeks from now. You see what I'm saying? So there's no reason for me to there's no reason for that. And again, you can't think when you're going that fast. You can't think when the mind is so anxious. You see what I'm saying? The reason why some people, they get like this is because they do the same thing over and over again with small interruptions that they have to figure out how to deal with. And so that, that's where that habit comes from. It's like people get in the habit of, waking up, go to work, or I might go get something to eat. I might do this. I might do this. I might go over here. I might see my friend. I might, you know what I'm saying? So everything is like, it's like this. There's no plan. You see what I'm saying? And that's the other thing I learned too about patience. Patience only comes to those who plan. You need to plan. Because what I've understand and what I've known is when you have a plan or even just a map of what you're gonna do, how things are gonna go, it allows things to go a lot smoother because you already know what to expect. But if you're moving fast and things happen that you weren't expecting and you have to deal with these problems, well, now you're frustrated because the things that you wanted to do, they can't happen now. So that's what, patience, is really is. It's about learning how to understand why we're waiting. And then it's understanding that to every cause, there's a effect. And to every problem, there's a purpose. There's a purpose. What do I need to do in this time in order to help this situation move faster? You see what I'm saying? Or not even faster, just move it along. A lot of the time stuff happens so that we can slow down. Believe it or not, like stuff happens so that we can slow down. Like I said, if there's an accident on the freeway, it's because someone was most likely going too fast, not paying attention, switch lanes, or whatever the case may be. So now, because of their mistake of going too fast, now we all have to slow down. You see what I'm saying? So knowing this stuff is just gonna help you guys to be a lot more patient, and that's what it's about. Being patient. You can accomplish a lot by just being patient. You don't want to be anxious to do things tomorrow, the next week. You want to, be calm and know that, okay, those things are going to come. It's like Christmas. It's like everybody remember the night before Christmas, man. It's like half of y'all didn't even sleep. Y'all was just, just laying there with your eyes closed. Just laying there with your eyes closed, just waiting for the sun to peak up so you can go around downstairs and open the stuff that you already know was in the boxes anyway, because you guys are little, you guys are sneaky, and you guys already ripped a little corner of your presents to see what box it was, and then you taped it back and then go to sleep with your eyes just you guys know. You guys used to do it. I wasn't the only one. You guys used to do it. And so now you guys couldn't sleep because you're already anticipating the presents you already know that's there. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's the same thing, man. So, go ahead and comment down below. Are you patient? Are you? And how can you be more patient? This has been Troy, Bad Dog Podcast. See you guys next time.